So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our day one of the Love Yoga Discourses. Well, all of us are from India. People couldn't join from the West. I think it's not suiting their time, but it doesn't suit my time as well. We took the votes for 7 p.m., but it would be too much socially binding to me. And Spirit gave me the green signal this previous Saturday as to how to bring about these sacred teachings. These recordings will be available for a very, very nominal purchase at our files section at Sessions with Narmada Akshat group. And thank you so much for showing up live. So we are 7 people, including myself, and you can hear my voice a bit winter-like because there is winter, and I am enjoying this beautiful view of the mountains, of the forest, of not exactly the forest, but a whole lot of trees, fog, and the sun rising up. It's after many days, in fact, many weeks, that I've been able to wake up this early and actually do something about it. I see some of you going offline. Make sure that you're not running other apps. If you're running other apps, it will go offline and online. You need to have a high-speed internet to be able to connect with us live here at GoToWebinar. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining up for day one. And this is the recording. This is the introduction to the Love Yoga. Somewhere around 12th of August 2016, I was nudged or guided by the Spirit to bring forth this sacred teachings of light. I was clearly told that this is not Bhakti Yoga. This is not quote-unquote other forms of yoga. This is Love Yoga. We can discuss more about it. And of course, I'm very, very, very excited to bring forth every single day topics and discourses and transmissions to help you integrate this very sacred energy of love into different aspects of our lives. So let us begin our call with a short prayer, as we always do, right? To the Supreme Essence, Divine Father and Divine Mother, our spiritual teachers, all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, holy saints, holy archangels, holy angels, beings of light, and all the great, great, great ones. We humbly invoke for divine guidance, divine love, illumination, divine oneness, abundance, peace, prosperity, spirituality, harmony, inner healing, divine help, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. We call forth the Holy Archangel Michael and the Band of Mercy to vacuum our homes, to vacuum our colony of all fear-based energies, our gardens, backyards. We request Archangel Michael and the Band of Mercy to vacuum our bodies, visualizing this golden cylinder of light coming down from the heavens, touching into your crown, going into your jawline, your neck, your spine, and down to your shoulders, the fingertips, into your legs, and of course the tips of the toes. We request a super fast vacuuming of all fear-based energies. Even during the sleeping time, we can tap into fear-based energies because when we're sleeping, we are traveling in the astral body, in the subtle bodies to do service work or to do journey work. Many times this strong fear-based energies tend to manifest as a need for coffee or tea up in the morning as you wake up. The point of our teachings is not to be dependent on anything that is outside. At the same time, being able to enjoy and relish and celebrate the entirety of the physical world. We request Archangel Michael to sever any fear-based cords, continuing to take deep breaths, and we request beloved Michael to sever fear-based cords, front, back, and sides, from all the chakras, from all the organs, breathing in the love and light of God, exhaling old fear-based energies from the mouth into the light, breathing in the love and light of God, exhaling old anger, irritation from the mouth into the light, continuing with this breathing cycle. Be willing to exchange all anger for love and peace. Be willing to exchange all fuzziness for focus and clarity. When we have strong negative emotions flowing in our consciousness, we really cannot focus on anything. For the windshield to be very clear, we need it to be very clear. We need to manage our emotions instead of suppressing them. Wonderful, you're doing wonderful. And we request, beloved Michael, to replace all the vacuum that is now created into our colonies, into our body, into our homes with pure white light. Visualizing your home, your body, your colony being filled with brilliant white light. This way you're invoking the angelic presence, invoking divine protection. And visualize a royal purple light surrounding our bodies. Every time, whenever you go outside or whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, it's always a good idea to visualize a royal purple light surrounding you. The royal purple light invokes Archangel Michael's sacred protection. This non-denominational being is there for you the moment when you think about him. And gradually visualizing the roots of light coming down from the soles of the feet into the earth. And opening your eyes. Notice how different the air feels, the temperature feels. Alright everyone, welcome to our day one. It's 20th of December 2016 and it's a very sacred time and a sacred honor for me to facilitate this journey for you. Thank you for amazing yes and your amazing trust. So today our session will be more about introduction to love yoga, what exactly it's all about and how it all came true and things like this. Somewhere in the 12th of August 2016, nighttime, I was sleeping 9 to 10 p.m. something. I was overwhelmed by a very loving presence, by a very divine presence. Interestingly, this presence just felt like love. It felt total satiation in my throat. That's we say being choked in the throat with so much of emotion of love. This love did not feel, however, emotionally confusing, so to speak. It felt as pure power. It felt as pure wisdom. It felt as a very loving presence. It felt like the warm sun in the winter. So of course I, sensing the energies to be very uplifting and loving and nurturing, I allowed my consciousness to be opened up. And there was it, the Lady Aphrodite. Lady Aphrodite, or Goddess Aphrodite, in the Greek tradition, is called as the Goddess of Love, very much misunderstood and very much misnamed, and I don't know if that's a word, quote unquote, bad named about who she was, who she is. According to the Greek tradition, Goddess Aphrodite was born out of the sea. It's very interesting. In the Hindu tradition, Goddess Lakshmi was born out of the sea. Aphrodite embodies pure love and pure beauty of God, or creation source energy. Interestingly, Goddess Lakshmi also embodies pure love, pure nurturing aspect, embodying the second aspect of the Trinity, the nurturing aspect. Aphrodite is usually shown, sometimes naked, and sometimes usually in the pink color or in marine green color. It's very interesting. Goddess Lakshmi is also shown in green and red color. So this being comes forth in my consciousness, and when you're meditating or telepathically in tune with these fabulous beings of light, they don't talk with you in terms of words or sentences. They just come, and it takes your brain some time to translate, whatever they are trying to speak. So what I was offered is something like this. She said, I am the presence of love, and so are you, beloved. You have been looking for answers about life. You have been looking for answers to help others in the quest of life. I'm here. If you don't wish to give credit to me, that is okay, for I am just an instrument. I am not here that you should make me a guru. Whoever you think is your appropriate guru, you go with that. But I am the embodiment of love, and so are you. If you are open, I can share some pearls of wisdom, pearls of love with you. And that was it. That was the start of the love yoga. And somewhere around 15th of August, I organized the first formal online class to talk about love yoga and what it's all about. I got to know on 15th of August, the very Independence Day of India and one of the birthdays of Momentous. He's no longer in the physical body though. That these love yoga teachings were already being downloaded into my consciousness way back before 12th of August. I think maybe 2 or 3 years back already. It was physicalizing in the terms of date, 12th of August 2016. Okay. Take a deep breath. During the session, during the discourse, just relax. You can, of course, have your warm water, um, warm in lukewarm water, having some lemon maybe. If you enjoy coffee or tea, that is okay, but we recommend not having it during the session. If you really need it, well, that's one thing. But of course, do not listen to this session or the coming session in the future while you're doing something else. Okay? This really requires your time and attention. And of course, you can tuck in your wonderful shawl or whatever comfortable that you have. It's the winter time after all. So, in the Holy Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about various paths of yoga. Yoga means union, to achieve oneness with God, to achieve oneness with Supreme Source Energy, to be liberated from the cycle of rebirth or the cycle of birth and death. He talks about Gnana Yoga, the path of wisdom, the path of knowledge. He talks about Karma Yoga, the path of doing, the path of allowing the divine to work through, the path of Bhakti Yoga, the path of loving devotion to God, connecting with God, all that is, as any relationship that you want to work with, considering God to be your brother or sister or your lover or um, a very intimate friend or something like this, and connecting with God. There are many, many pathways of yoga which Lord Krishna has indirectly talked about in the Bhagavad Gita. So, as I was downloading these sacred teachings, Aphrodite revealed to me again and again, this is not Bhakti Yoga. And I was always confused. I thought that the path of love to God must be love yoga. What should be the difference? And she said, this is not Bhakti Yoga. This is a very, it is kind of similar, you can say, but very different at the same time. Love yoga, as the name suggests, it's, if you translate in Hindi, the language of India, it's prema yoga, something like that. You can say it. But she was very peculiar about love yoga, so that's why we chose that term for it. So, love yoga is basically about connecting with the frequency of love, starting with yourself, and allowing that love to fill your cup, letting it shine through your soul, and serving God. It's about experiencing the loving cosmic orgasm through every single pore of your body, every single moment of your life. You can connect with the love yoga teachings, whatever religion, whatever spiritual path you follow, by bringing forth the particles of love, as she's saying right now. We allow our DNA to be unlocked. We allow our infinite potential to be unlocked. When we bring more love into our lives, into our consciousness, mind that this is not emotional love. Sweetness is a very, very tiny part of it. This love is absolute power. It's the absolute dominant, loving, graceful field which we call God. It is the absolute alchemy, absolute transformation, it is the absolute wisdom, and it is the absolute power. So there's no basically concept of Trinity in love yoga teachings. It is just love. I remember a few years back, um, as I was shifting in my consciousness regarding the work that I was supposed to do, someone asked me, she said, so what exactly you're doing? I mean, what healing modality you work with? Is it Reiki? Is it acupressure? Is it pranic healing? And the answer that came forth through my mouth, it was, oh, my healing modality is love. And she said again, no, what is a healing modality? I said, no, it's love. Love is my healing modality. And that was the moment she had the aha, and she said, wow, beautiful. The moment she said beautiful, I recognized what came to my mouth. I realized, yes, this is exactly the work is all about. In all the traditions, they talk about a coming one. In the Buddhist tradition, they talk about Lord Maitreya. In the Islam, they talk about Imam Mahdi. And the Hindu tradition, they talk about Lord Kalki manifesting to save the world, so to speak. And in Christian tradition, they talk about the second coming of the Christ. You know what is the one thing that is very much common in all these coming ones or the avatars that are supposed to come? It's that they're going to operate from the field of love. They already embody this loving frequency, this frequency of love, this frequency of the heart. Take a deep breath again. So while you're listening to this informal transmission, you will also gain, so to speak. So Goddess Aphrodite gave to me few pillars of the teachings, and let us discuss a bit about the few pillars. So the first teaching that came through, I don't exactly remember it was in what kind of sequence, so to speak. I'm just going randomly here. I've written the notes here on the Sessions with Narmada Akshat page. Many of you have liked it, thank you. So the first, it says, love yourself enough to not hurt yourself, or love yourself enough to not go into lower vibration. This means loving yourself so much that you do not allow to hurt yourself in any way, not only physically, but also enough to emotionally and mentally, when we keep repeating those patterns of tragedy, of fabulous, fantabulous tragedy that somehow have started to bring meaning to our life, and we know that it's dysfunctional. We all do it, right? So she says, love yourself enough to not hurt yourself. So it's okay to observe. There's nothing wrong with seeing what it is. At the end of the day, it's all love. Even fear is an inverted reflection of love, right? That's what the Narad Bhakti Sutra says. So love yourself enough to not hurt yourself. So loving yourself so much that emotionally and mentally you are filled with love for yourself. Sometimes people ask me, hey, how do I reduce weight? And I'm always reminded of Louise Hay's um, teaching. She says that it's not that you're fat and that's why you don't love yourself. It is reverse. It is because you do not love yourself. That is why you have allowed yourself to become fat. Do you notice a difference? If we try to, beauty is a very, very strong aspect. Beauty and sensuality and sexuality, in terms of experiencing oneness with yourself or the other soul, is a very core teaching of the love yoga. We'll discuss about it by and by. It's so vast. Take a deep breath. So love yoga basically helps us to transform our awareness or perception of the world. It helps us to transform the perception about ourselves. It can really help us to get answers for everything. Whether we're looking for more abundance, we're looking for more time, we're looking for more health, we're looking for more beauty in life, we're looking for more harmony in relationships. It can all be received through the frequency called as love. I like to connect with God, all that is. I started with God as wisdom, but then I realized this love feels much better. So love yourself enough to not hurt yourself. You might have heard about on my Facebook post, I crossed like 104 days or something like that. I was living only on fruits, two fruits one time, and a bit of nut milk in the evening, and that's it. And people ask me, how did you do that? Didn't you have a craving? Well, I did do a bit of social eating, a bit of pleasure eating, but not quote unquote a whole lot of food. At times, my body would be wanting so-called processed food and fabulous cheese. I still love it, all these things. But every time I would remind to my body, I would say, you know, I'm eating as if I'm loving my body. I'm eating this because I love my body. I'm living on prana because I love my body. Things like this. So when you start to bring forth this unconditional love frequency, there's a lot of quote unquote conditional love tagged into society and our programming and even into our parents. And, we have always given parents godlike structure, godlike place. Of course, they are wonderful beings. To them, we have the physical body, but they're also humans, right? So most of the people are into conditional love. They want to receive love from the outside. They want to look beautiful because the others can praise them. Well, this is temporary. This is not going to go for a quote unquote long run. If we really want a long run connection with Source, with wisdom, with beauty and power and abundance, you have to start living your life for yourself by loving yourself. It doesn't mean yet that you have to be selfish. When we talk about the concept of self-love, this concept of self-love came to me in my life through Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And then I realized Buddha and other great masters also talked about, I think Paul Solomon, one of the great teachers, also talked about, he mentioned self-love as a panacea or the Sanjeevani booty for every kind of ailment. So self-love is very different from selfishness. Selfishness comes from the ego, it contracts you. When there's self-love, it comes from a place of dignity for yourself. It comes from a place of not arrogance, but assertiveness as to how you are supposed to be treated by yourself and others. It also comes from a place of love. It expands you. That is how I can say the difference between the two. And it really you have to master it, you have to understand it. So Aphrodite, if you want to know God as love, Goddess is love, then Aphrodite is the one to connect with. We're going to share various tools throughout our transmissions every single day, how to connect with it deeper and deeper. So love yourself enough not to hurt yourself, to not hurt yourself. Okay? The next teaching that comes through is love holds the answers. Whether you're looking for more profit in business, whether you're looking for more of health, you're looking for more of wealth, you want to start a career of your own, or even if you like a particular company and you would like to go on the next level of promotion, you would like to enhance your productivity, or as simple as you would like to look better physically or feel better physically, love holds all the answers. Even you're after those alchemical text of elixir of youth and immortality, love holds the answer. If you would like to know more about the angels, more about God, Horus, and different frequencies of various masters, holy gurus that have walked through time, well, love holds all the answers. So, how do you connect with love? By really connecting with it. And how do you try to connect with it? By meditating, contemplating once in a while. How do I love myself more? How do I love myself more unconditionally? It is very, very important that we start giving unconditional love to ourselves. All spiritual teachers talk about giving unconditional love to others in the world, and really it is a hard time, right? Why? Because we cannot give to others because that which we do not have. In order to give something, it's money, it's food, we need to have it first, right? It's only then that we can give. So start from this day one, try to give love to yourself unconditionally, regardless of whatever kind of parent or a worker or an employer employee you think you are. You're not doing enough of meditation, you're not living on prana, the dark circles under the eyes, whatever, 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 whatever. Still affirming into yourself, I love myself. I love, one of Louise Hay's affirmation was, I love and approve of myself. She suggests that every time you see the mirror, wherever you are, or you're in the lift or something like this, you see a reflection, mentally just saying to yourself, I love and approve of yourself. And if you're alone, of course, you can give yourself a compliment. Oh, you're a fabulous singer. Oh, you look beautiful. Oh, you're very charming. Oh, um, you're very intelligent. You're very wise. You know, Throughout our lives, we have been um, bringing so much of criticism to ourselves in the name of improving, but hey, it doesn't work out. It simply shuts us down. So from this day, start giving more love. Remember, all these teachings that I'm sharing, I'm not perfect at it. I'm simply sharing whatever effort I to share and trying my best as possible to embody them. Okay? So love holds all the answers. You receive all the answers about life by learning to love yourself. This love energy is very connected with the Vishnu, the Christ archetype. This love yoga is non-denominational. It is not about a particular god or a goddess. I mean to use the word God a whole lot of time because it's kind of classic, but every time I'm referring to God, it's God, goddess, all that is, beyond gender, and of course embodying both the yin yang at the same time. So love provides all. That's the next teaching. Love provides all. It can provide you everything. Sometimes people think why I should become spiritual, why I should follow or worry about the law of karma. I see spiritual people suffering big time, and people who are so much into earth and so much into negativity and drama, small d drama and small p politics. They are so much. Um, they seem to be progressing a whole lot. Well, they might be seeming to progress a whole lot, but it's very, very temporary if you closely observe. If you really want firm foundation, you have to bring this frequency of love. You have to take a decision from love. Take a deep breath. Decisions taken through love, be it for the individual or for a company or organization, is extremely nurturing. Helps the soul to evolve, helps the personality level or the material level of the organization or the individual to evolve. Love provides all. So when we start to bring in this frequency of love more and more into our consciousness, into our lives, our chakras start to come in alignment automatically. We don't even need an energy healing session in that sense. We are all part of this great energy. In the Hindu tradition, they talk about Lord Vishnu as Narayana, one who is inside the ocean. If you have learned energy healing arts, the teachers share that we're living in the ocean of prana, we're living in the ocean of love. Yes, this pranic energy is an ocean. People who are living on light, they say, I'm living on love. And you can sense this divine glow emanating through their presence and through their voice. Some of them have attuned themselves so much powerfully that even when you think about them with respect and love, you start to receive blessings. Love provides all. Whatever you're looking for in life, be it strong intimacy, a deep intimacy, be it more love from the universe, you think that your inner child was not properly provided for, your parents did their best, maybe they left earlier, or whatever reason. Maybe you think you have gone through some kind of divorce or a so-called horrible breakup, or you had a whole lot of struggle in life. Well, you don't need to carry those imprints anymore. These imprints, of course, are indelible in the cell structure and the memories. Well, they will be there, but you don't need to, you know, beat yourself up about whatever happened in the past. So when you bring in this miraculous healing frequency of love more and more, into your life, not only just listen to the call, by listening to the calls, but really embodying it, trying to embodying it first in yourself, you start to notice that love can really provide all. This Mother Earth provides us all with love. Now, these foundational pillars can seem like very abstract. Well, as we work on, you will realize by and by. And of course, this pillar, I just love it. She says, love yourself royally. It's not about just loving yourself. No, not a traditional concept of just loving yourself. It's more about loving yourself royally. It's not about a so-called VIP person or someone you really cherish. It's really about royal treatment. If you're aware about the royal lifestyles, she says that we all come from God. All the royal dynasties in the past, um, they all started somewhere. There was a particular founder to the dynasty, so to speak. And we all come from God. We are all one and the same. We all deserve this kingdom, queendom of God. God is all that is. So loving yourself royally, not just loving yourself, but really showering yourself with so much of love. One of the ways to embody this love yoga frequency is to really asking yourself regularly, oh, how do I love myself more? Just ask yourself, how do I love myself more? You'd be surprised how your body simply responds, and perhaps you've started to smile. How do I love myself more? Or how do I love myself royally? If you think that you're not so good in loving yourself, then reminding yourself regularly is a wonderful idea. Love yourself royally. Aphrodite says, love yourself royally. Okay. The next teaching that comes up is aligning with love, aligning with the flow. You remember we talked about the ocean of prana, the ocean of love? Aligning with love, aligning with the flow. This flow that we're talking about is not coming from inner child being adamant or emotional body going in full swing. You want this and then you want that and then you want this, etc., etc. You're always looking for the next big thing, quote unquote. Although the universe is always evolving, it's always getting more complicated, more expanded in consciousness, like the consciousness evolved through the minerals and plants and the animals and humans and way more. So aligning with love, aligning with the flow. This flow that we just said, as the ocean of prana, as the ocean of love, as the ocean of life force, it can provide us everything. There have been great so-called miraculous stories of beloved masters who would simply heal by gaze or simply heal by touch or voice or by a particular blessing or particular word, or masters manifesting. If you have read the beautiful book Autobiography of a Yogi, I think it's available at Ananda Sangha, Ananda Sangha. If you Google Ananda Sangha space Autobiography of a Yogi, you can find that book online free of cost. And it's a fascinating book, and it's known and revered as the classic book for those who have just begun the spiritual path. And of course, if you have regularly gone to the spiritual path, then this book is still very, very fascinating. It's very, very powerful. So aligning with love, aligning with flow. In that book, um, Paramhamsa Yogananda talks about an incident where Mahavdar Babaji, the great immortal master, who brought forth the science of the Holy Kriya Yoga back to humanity through Lahari Mahashaya, a married, quote-unquote, common man, so to speak, but definitely not so common in terms of the soul, a great soul indeed. Yogananda says that he was Lord Janaka in his previous life. Anyway, so in that incident, Mahavdar Babaji manifests in the night time, somewhere in the Himalayas, somewhere near Ranikhet, that's a place in India, in the North India, up in the hills, up in the mountains, to satiate the desire of Lahari Mahashaya, the one last desire, to live in a fabulous palace. So this palace was made of pure gold and literally shining in the night, and everything was embedded. I mean, the walls and everything, carvings, it was all made with jewels. Sometimes I like to remind myself, do I want to make a lot of money? Well, yes, I require that energy of money for the physicalization and expansion of the work. But do I really need money? If I say, then if you look around, it's not much. If we can really create a society of cooperation, well, it can happen. It's not also about communism, but it's more about, do I just want to run after making money, or I want to develop such power that can manifest whatever I need? I keep sharing the incidents on Facebook, and I'm very much sure you as well have also experienced in your life. Whenever you need something and you think maybe it's out of your reach, you create a desire of it and it simply manifests. It not happens with all, but it happens with most of us, though. How? Because we have learned to align ourselves with the ever providing, or as they say, the divine providence. That's what Shakespeare would call it, right? Divine providence, the provider of all. So when we align ourselves with the frequency of love, we align ourselves with the frequency of the flow of life. It doesn't mean that once we start to walk on the path of love yoga, that we will have no problems in life. We will have, but we will have the strength and the grace to go through it. You know, as if you can imagine a mountain and a stream of water running through, the stream of water can hit through the mountain and clash and try to break the mountain and spend so much of time, or the stream of water can gradually go sideways of the mountain and carry the journey. Do you see the difference? So aligning with love, aligning with flow. Taking a full deep breath again. And of course, the last topic for today, love as the ultimate wisdom, love as the ultimate power. They say that if you ever have to be kind or ever have to, say the truth, it's more important that you bring kindness first. And so you'll be quote unquote right. Love is not about blinding the mind. That love comes from attention and infatuation for n number of reasons to a particular one person. Love, as we are saying here, love that comes forth is for the self as a divine, for others, for the world. Well, we're not trying to expand that much because we have a limited amount of love. That's what we believe in, right? So we start to bring forth this frequency of love to ourselves. If you wish to transform your life in any way, physically, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, then start loving yourself royally. Love yourself royally. Love yourself royally. This love is the ultimate power. It is the glue of the creation. We call them devas, angels, or humans, or different beings of light, different um, aspects of source as different kinds of beings vibrating in different states of matter, different dimensions, and more. They're all made of love. So once we begin to recognize that love is ultimate graceful power, we begin to recognize that it's all one, we're all one, and there's no place of separation. At the same time, in this divine play of the personality, we are the sacred frequency of love. So love yoga, at the core you can say, is union with love, union with the beloved within. And as we bring forth more and more love into our consciousness, more and more love into our belief systems, into our lives, we will start to notice that things shift. Now, one very important thing as we continue with the journey, these love yoga teachings are extremely high in frequency. You might experience intense mood swings or catharsism or the physical body going through some kind of ab reaction. Now, do not panic about it. You can always call forth help from the divine. If you think that the journey has gone on this line, on this line of detoxification, just request mentally to your guide, please make this clearing more graceful. To make the clearing more graceful, we recommend having regular physical exercises, doesn't matter what time of the day, doing forgiveness work regularly, if you're aware about it. We might share this in the upcoming classes of Love Yoga. Loving yourself more and more, not trying to get approval from outside. That is so important. And having a lighter diet. I'm not saying that you need to leave vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food and become a vegan or become a breatharian. No. Whatever kind of food that suits your body, you continue with that. Okay? Whatever kind of drinks you enjoy, you continue with that, but only to the point where you are aware enough or conscious enough. If you think that a particular kind of food, like for me, processed sugar and processed refined flour, creates issues in my skin and my body and even my moods. So, as much as I enjoy them, I still love them. I try to keep it low. Okay? So you have to be very aware. I reached a point where I would, this garlic and onion would go very, very burning, even ginger, because it was extremely grounding and I was operating on a very high frequency. And I realized it's not going to work that way either. So you are going to become more sensitive as you carry on integrating these sacred teachings. So please maintain the royal purple light every time you walk outside, every time you're driving. Please maintain it because your energy fields are going through tremendous transformation. They're becoming more powerful, at the same time more refined. And one very important thing, keeping the company, the kind of company you keep. Well, one of my mentors share that if you spend some time in a particular company, in a particular group of people, they could be a family and friends, of course. If you feel drained, then that's not the company meant for you now. No longer now. You can still love them, but you really have to cut down on spending time. And when you feel uplifted coming from a particular company or a group of people, well, that is the company that your soul seeks. I know it's a very hard transition time. Again, call for the inner guidance. You always have help about it, okay? And remember, this journey is about yourself. It will make you more prosperous. It will make you more beautiful, so to speak, not only physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and etherically. It's not about others. This journey is for you to experience sacred union. We're going to talk about different aspects of love yoga in terms of sensuality and sexuality, healing the feminine, and more. Well, that would be later. Let us now go ahead with a transmission. 744 here. Very interesting. The phone number is the presence of the angelics. Okay, allowing yourself to get very comfortable. And one last thing that I forgot. Regular water, having at least 10 glasses of water a day. It will keep your frequency high. Remember, love holds the answers. And as we carry on with your love and your support and your presence, we might have some question and answer kind of things going on um, with live channeling. These teachings, they came not exactly through channeling, they came more through revelations, just direct knowingness. All right, with our eyes closed, one of the fastest ways to connect with any being of light is to just say their names. So in your mind, you can say Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. I wish to connect with you. Every being of light usually has a place in the higher dimensions to spread their energies or frequencies. And of course, goddess Aphrodite has temple of love. Before sleeping, you can call forth to be taken to the temple of Shiva, temple of Aphrodite, temple of the sun, whatever qualities that you would like to generate, temple of Lord Ganesha, temple of Kuan Yin, to develop particular qualities. Like Kuan Yin is known for developing more compassion and forgiveness, inner strength. Athena is known to develop more of assertiveness. Aphrodite is known to develop all these aspects, of course, but having the foundation as love. All different figures of the divine uh, can take us to the divine, so to speak, and in their own unique way. It's like which car, which kind of aeroplane you would like to go with. Here in Love Yoga, we go with love. Not even exactly Aphrodite, but yes, it's a synonym. Do not expect anything from the session. Just be here with a childlike heart, visualizing a beautiful pink cocoon surrounding your body, visualizing the pores of your skin as transparent and open, allowing yourself to breathe in love to the pores of the skin, let it go into your body, and as you exhale, let the frequency of love travel from the inside out to the various parts of your body, out into the world. Breathing in again the love frequency, exhaling out. And as you continue to do this sacred breathing cycle, mentally and emotionally smile at yourself with your eyes closed, sending this love, all this love that you have been seeking from family relations or friends, doting yourself with love, smiling at yourself, as only you can satisfy yourself, the sacred symbol of the snake eating itself. And the more you embody this sacred love frequency, the more you reflect back to others that they are complete beings. They are not the drop, but the ocean, that they have chosen to be the drop for a while. Shiva, of course, is another archetype of love, pure love, complete being. With a deep in-breath, visualize yourself merging deep into the ocean of the pink love, particles of love, of pure chi flowing around and within, uplifting and touching the particles of your subtle bodies, your auras and chakras, your very soul, your physical body. You might have goosebumps. One of the particular qualities of this energy with Aphrodite is that it tends to bring goosebumps. Some say it's the activation of the Kundalini, the raising of the frequencies. Allowing these particles of pure love energy to beam around and within. These frequencies will open you more emotionally. So whenever you're experiencing contrast, because now you're open more emotionally, learn to travel with it instead of suppressing or judging it. That's why you're so emotional. Just learn to be with it, knowing that these emotions, strong emotions up and down, are being experienced within you. They're not you. You're powerful enough to have it flow through your system. And once you start to heal your connection with the so-called negative emotions and start to ask it, okay, why you're here, what exactly happened, what you're not happy about, All these things, when you start to have an inner dialogue with these emotions, you start to transcend them. You enter this field of complete love, complete union of yin yang, where you accept the light and the dark. At the same time, you remember that you are not the two. You hold these light and dark, but you are the infinite light, infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite power. Regardless of whatever challenges the personality is facing, you can always be in the zone of love. Being in the zone of love, most of the times, transmutes, transforms old negative karmic archetypes, negative astrological imprints or genetic imprints. Very, very powerful. With deep and fine breaths continued, allow yourself to feel the love flowing through your throat and your tummy, the satiation point in the physical body, and your heart, the satiation point in the emotional body, and your shoulders, and your entire head, the satiation point in the mental body, the whole spine and the whole body, the satiation point of your spiritual body, your very soul. We are love, unconditional, impersonal. This love doesn't tend to form fear-based cords. It is like the absolute love of Radha and Krishna, or to Krishna and the gopis. They may not meet physically a whole lot, but they are so connected and so aligned with their essence that they feel each other's presence, the Krishna consciousness, the Christ consciousness within. The kingdom of God is at hand, is here, right now. Let these gentle loving frequencies continue to run through your body. Let it align your organs, your chakras, your nadis. Notice how you're receiving this inner massage of opening. It opens you to new perceptions, new levels of awareness. And please repeat together. Beloved Aphrodite, we invite you into our homes, into our colonies. We invite your sacred presence into the entire planet Earth. Visualizing your home, colony, and of course, the entire Earth being flooded with dazzling pink energy. All what we are seeking is love. Even God is not much interested into how long you have been meditating, how much good karma you have generated, or how much you have donated in His holy name. God is interested in love. Radha is the absolute embodiment, is the absolute embodiment of the Shakti of Krishna. She is the only one enchantress of Krishna. She is Krishna, the one who brings forth this power of love into the world. So many beautiful archetypes in different cultures. This love yoga, however, focuses on Aphrodite. But it doesn't matter. They're one and the same, isn't it? We just wish to recognize the source of these sacred teachings. Allowing the entire planet hugged in this pure frequency of love, these pure divine frequencies into the plants and minerals, all of the animal kingdom, connecting to the angelics and all the multidimensional beings of light and love, connecting with all the dimensions of life, of the creation, regardless of the frequency. Let this love frequency go to all aspects of the planet, all the places of pollution, physical pollution, etheric pollution, mental, emotional, spiritual pollution. Let it all go. Let all this love frequency connect with every aspect of the planet. Let it embrace all the so-called imperfections. Let the walls between the actor and the director dissolve. We simply drop into all that is. Let us go in silence for a while as we just drop into the holy name, the holy vibration of love, the true name, the Satnam. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, Nada Brahma. Let us go in silence and allow whatever that is coming from the outside to just come true. Just be here. A full deep breath. It really feels like I'm coming outside, right? A full deep breath, returning back to your heart, back to your body. Go ahead and give yourself a great big hug, experiencing the sacred divine presence of love. I was having the wonderful sound of the birds, and then now the wonderful sound of the train, accepting all of it. And at your own pace, if you feel like, you can open your eyes with a big, big smile. And may you continue to walk in this sacred royal presence of love, this presence of all providence, this love that beams unto others impersonally, unconditionally, not from the wanting to control them or get anything out of them, but really to simply celebrate the consciousness of being who you are. I so celebrate all of you, everyone. This MP3 would be uploaded at our file section at Sessions with Narmada Akshat. Because it is the introductory MP3, we are not going to charge anything for it. You can download it and share with others and spread the word about love yoga. I'm just going to take a quick feedback from Venkatesha if he heard the sound of the train. Otherwise, it's good. Venkatesha, please unmute yourself and let me know if you heard the sound of the train. If you heard, and what if you heard, was it loud enough?
Yes, Narmada Akshit, I heard the sound of the train horn,
Okay.
but it was not loud enough. It was just somewhere in the background.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you everyone for joining in. It's 8:01 a.m. and have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. And when this love yoga frequency comes in, we want to give out to others. We want to share the word, and we are like, oh my God, I need to tell about this to this friend and that. This day today, just spend time with enjoying and relishing, or as I say, when you have a wonderful meal, you just like to savor the taste of it, right? So just be with this frequency and If you want to share with others, take at least a day. Take, just the next day, uh, perhaps to embody it. Okay? Slav yoga is not about suppressing anything or judging negative emotions. It's all about acceptance, acceptance, and acceptance. That is exactly the key where the change happens. That is exactly the key where the flow is going on in the universe. So thank you so much, sweet ones, for joining in. Let's end the session with sacred thanksgiving to the Supreme Essence, Divine Father and Divine Mother, our spiritual teachers, all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, holy saints, holy archangels, holy angels, beings of light, and all the great, 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 great ones. We thank you all for your priceless blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I look forward to see you all tomorrow. Namaste. Bye. This is Narmada Akshad. Bye bye.